the moss and everything dying off and rocks and it's a food source, and so the plants being native, the animals are dying in here, so they cut back all this aggressive introduced foliage and basically left only native plants and some of the chipper really wants to turn things back into a bigger garden. Chipper won't be alive anymore. It's good. That gets the job.
That's a nice area.
Yeah. The first non-different. You were doing well, that's so let's take these in.
He handled
pretty well.
It went down on her. She went down. She made a different plan.
There was a controversy about this tree for years. Was this tree here for man or not? Well, because of this, right here. This is what they got on the way they were going, what they were going to find, but they knew their sales were going to take a beating on the ocean, so they brought the plant back. But controversial think this tree actually walks. They think that the roots, the tree can actually, I mean, you know, as it grows another root, it moves and moves. It's not apart. Yeah. Oh no, that's mighty cold about iron. That's the one thing we're doing there to do. Oh, that fern is called Lowai fern.
Why fern?
Lowai.
Lowai.
Lowai fern.
They could have shot the movie King Kong here.
No, they didn't shoot King Kong here, they shot Jurassic Park.
No, I mean, they could have.
Jurassic Park.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally secured the area. He had guards on the mountain so nobody could get shots of it. He had Roberta Haas, he put her in the presidential suite at the Princeville Hotel so she would piss and moan about being locked out of her house. About what this site is. Some folks think it's a home site, other folks think it may be a hail. How many of you folks know what a hail is? A hail is an ancient place of worship. This is where the Ali'i and the priests and all the Haimakas went to deal with all these Hawaiian gods. So hail is just prominent rock structures, altars and walls and stuff like that. When I look at this site right now, I look at these boulders that are coming down here to me to be rolling down this hill due to the process of napping in place there. Now, when I look at this area right here, I noticed there's this semicircle of stones, right? This appears to me to be the remnants of an ancient fire pit. Along this rock wall over here, you can see it's a wall. It comes up here and it's a juncture. It's trying to continue straight down here. Now, when archaeologists opening inside Texas want to integrity, they go along and they'll kick on rocks that are buried. Most likely they were placed there. Top of the ground, they could have accidentally rolled there, or they could have been placed there. So I'm that this was a home site rather than a hail. Usual place for a home site because the ancients would never build a hut. And this would have all been plantable because none of this stuff in here. This right here is a mango tree. You have several flora on the back side of you. This tree with the hanging vines is called autograph tree. These are all very modern introductions, probably up here, legacy here in the valley. So for someone could see all the way to the ocean to the mountains. So the reason I think it's a home site is because I believe it's the Monohiki would have been the boss of the ranch, the proprietor. His or her duty, I guess you would call it, would be to oversee this entire, such as Limahuli. All the planting, all the new building, all of that stuff. It would have to answer to, the chief would have to answer. There was a very decided hierarchy of spoils of all of these labors that were going on here. So I'm committed to thinking that this is a home site, and we'll never know until we dig. And we won't dig until we have the financial resources to do lots of tests here, because every artifact would be about $1,000. How it's accented. So occasionally you'll have a glottal stop, or you'll have an okina, and you know. But anyway,
Whatever that is.
if you mispronounce a Hawaiian word, you change the entire text of the conversation.
Because they're so cool.
And you can't put two similar words together and make them, you know, like you can in English,
Right.
because it'll become a completely different word. And the Hawaiians are very sensitive about this language of theirs, because they're trying to restore it. You know, there's Hokulea, actually the canoe, reinstilled a sense of dignity and pride in the Hawaiian culture, and this whole cultural revival is about. Right here are the North Stars. This is a lolu, according to the Hawaiians, but it's actually a Pichardia. And Pichardia, there's 26 different varieties of Pichardia. 19 are endemic to Hawaii. And the other 7 are found throughout the Pacific Basin, including this particular plant you're looking at right here is one of the rarest plants on the planet Earth. It was discovered by Chipper, and Steve was our curator of native Hawaiian plants as well as tropical plants. Steve is about a 35-year veteran of National Tropical Botanical Gardens. He's a world-renowned botanist, and several plants named after him. He and Chipper were exploring back in Limahuli in the early 70s, and they saw what they thought were 2 lone Pichardia way up on this cliff. So each of them scaled at the other side of the cliff, and they got up to the individual Pichardias and carved temples and sent them off to the Bishop Museum. Bishop Museum got back to Steve and Chipper and said, "You guys just discovered a new species." So it was their privilege as well as their pleasure to name this species Pichardia limahuliensis. This plant is not found outside of Limahuli Valley today. The only 2 in situ that we know of are those 2 back there. All the rest have been raised in the garden itself. We only had 1 of these plants here for years, but now David Bender, who's our resident horticulturist, rappelled down those cliffs, harvested as many seeds as he could, and succeeded in sprouting over 100 baby or keikis. So he's outplanted. These plants need water right now, but this is a Pichardia limahuliensis garden. On the other side of this forest here, he built another garden and planted Pichardia limahuliensis in ancient India, and that is the new Mrs. Julia. Really? Yeah. Chipper tried to climb the mountain. He couldn't even get up there. He got to that crack right there. He got scared and came back.
What about something to pop?
Well, that's what's happened in that short period of time. Flora moved in. You see the lime green growth, those mini that growing up in the mini valleys? Those are all kukui trees. Escaped from the wild, and they're out of control. And they're rapidly encroaching on this very special little native Hawaiian ecosystem we have around the corner. So we're in dire straits right now because we don't have a solution to this problem. Now, this mountain right here is called Mount Makana, M-A-K-A-N-A. It's a Hawaiian word for gift. Does anybody know what visitor industry refers to this mountain as? Wali High. But the Hawaiians do not want to hear that. Wali High has a 50-year legacy going back to the movie South Pacific. Makana has a 2,000-year legacy going back when the Polynesians first arrived here. Now this is one of the most sacred sites in all of Hawaii to the Hawaiian culture. This is where Pele first danced hula. Just around the corner at the base of the mountain is the hula heiau, and that's where Pele danced hula for Laka, the goddess of the forest, who became the goddess of hula and dance. She in turn taught Chief Lohiau hula, and he became the first mortal man to dance hula. He became Kumahula. So this mountain is very, very precious to the Hawaiian culture. And like I said earlier, no man has been on top of that mountain that we know of since 1921. I actually tried to fly an ultralight close to Makana, but the trade winds hit that mountain, it turned into thermal updrafts, and it just about slammed me into the mountain, so no way was I going near. And Jack Harder tried to land a helicopter on top of Makana one time. Couldn't do it. The winds wouldn't let him.
Good for them.
Yeah. So what I want to get to is I want to talk to you folks about Vahipana, sacred place names. The ancients named every major landmark within their individual ahupua'as. So you look at this peak right here, it's called Mauna Puluo. That peak is called Mauna Ho. And this peak, of course, is called Mount Makana. When you see these peaks from Princeville, you see that real famous silhouette of the three giant peaks. Okay, the mountain itself, if you go around the mountain, you'll see a 1,500-foot concave cliff. This is where they had the ancient Hawaii ceremony. It was the fire-throwing ceremony, where at night they started throwing burning bushes off of Makana down Kapali'oahi. Kapali'oahi literally translated means cliff of fire. And when they were done with the burning bushes, they would throw firebrands. Branches of pau like this, or branches of how that they dried for over a year, so it was really good tinder. And they'd stick them in a fire and get the front end really hot, and then they'd throw it straight into the wind, and it would just explode in a burst of sparks. And the core is hollow on this. So if they had enough fire going on the front end, flames would shoot out the back end. And the thermal updrafts, when they hit Makana, will carry these firebrands as far as a mile out to sea. So it made for a spectacular show. And the Hawaii ceremony was only held for special occasions, like a chief would come to visit, or a hala would graduate from the hula hea. It wasn't for the 4th of July or Christmas or anything like that. They didn't have those kind of holidays. So back to Vahipana. Vahipana, literally translated, means the cultural identity of an ahupua'a. Each little special place name, like this beach that I live on over here, visitor industry refers to it as tunnels. The Hawaiians call it akua. M-A-K-U-A is a Hawaiian word for parent. And what's a parent's role? To protect and nurture and teach. This is one of the most nurturing and protected areas on the north shore of Kauai. The reef to the right is called Kanaha. It's the only reef left on the north shore of Kauai where you can pick limu, edible seaweed. All our other reefs have been poisoned. So that particular area, if the fringing reef knocks down those 50-foot swells that are going to be rolling in here for the next several months, that lagoon is chock full of delicious edible marine life. So this area is really special. So if you can remember these two M words, Mount Makana and Makua, you're well on your way to making new friends here in the islands, particularly on the north shore of Kauai. You go to a native Hawaiian and ask him where tunnels is, and that individual just might send you to Hawaii. Ask a native Hawaiian where Mount Makana is, and you'll see this big toothy grin of aloha. The individual might bring you to the mountain and tell you some of her stories. None of her secrets, of course, but probably some of her stories. So Vahipana is literally the cultural identity of an ahupua'a, and it allowed folks to navigate within their own individual communities. Like you go Makai of Makana or Mauka of Makana. You know, there's only one way to go, either toward the ocean or toward the mountains. Makai is ocean, Mauka is mountain.
Are the local Hawaiians, particularly let's say 20-year-olds, are they really still into their culture?
The 20-year-olds are getting more into it than anybody else because they've been exposed through education and new interest in the kahunas, the younger kahunas, like Nainoa Thompson, people like that. So I see some of the people that would have definitely deteriorated and fallen off the face of the earth, you know, as far as doing anything worthwhile, flourishing, just blossoming into these Hawaiian studies and stuff like that. There's people are starting to speak Hawaiian again, and there's a revision in the pride and dignity of this really, really special culture. It's the skin, the juice from the skin. It's a juice from the leaves. When you eat your coastal mango skin, your lips will start to swell up and burn. You eat too many mangoes, you can end up looking like you're mango. Collagen inject, I'll tell you. But the stuff will you can get it on yourself. I have friends who can eat mangoes like apples. They'll just eat the skin and all. And then I have friends who look at a mango and break out in hives. So it's just a matter of, it blew my socks off when I found out it was poison. I used poison up.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like them.
Oh, eat them, they're delicious. These are for cake. Do you notice anything unusual about this stand of trees?
Not so good.
Nothing's growing under it.
Nothing under it.
Yeah, the roots secrete a toxin that inhibits growth in other plants, so this is a really naughty tree. And if it gets out of control, it can literally take over. When Mrs. Wickman started clearing the front end of the garden right out here, it was covered in Vivy and Ohia. Now look what happens when you cut Vivy. All you do is prune it.
And I
Trees will
just
start
don't-
growing out of the stump. Trees will start growing out of the drop. It's just a nightmare.